go back and talk about measurements, because measurements are important. All right. We were talking about the Iberian Peninsula. We're going to go and talk about how the English affected brewing and drinking culturally the world over. Not just hyperbole. It really happened. We're going to start with a word. Potus. Potus. It's a Latin word, so it was made up by the Romans. We know the Romans are very, very clever people because in the movies they always speak with British accents.
Yeah.
You notice that? You notice that?
World War II movies as well.
Yes, that's right. They're always the most. Some evil Nazis spoke with British accents. Interesting. But we digress. So, potus. Anything having to do with the state of inebriation. And going back to what I was talking about, how fermentation saved us as a species. That's the first of the gifts afforded us by learning how to use fermentation, survival as a species. The second one is civilization, because with civilization, that's where we started to establish homesteads and farming, the agrarian culture. Those homesteads turned into villages, which turned into cities, which turned into major centers of trade. All of these things are things that you need to establish a civilization. So the second gift is civilization. Survivability, civilization. The third gift afforded us by harnessing fermentation is inebriation. Potus. The ancient Romans spoke and wrote extensively on the subject. Not just being flat out drunk, but being every scale of inebriation going up to being flat out drunk. Absolutely pissed, soused, potted. Potus, potted, that's where that word came from, the expression of being incredibly drunk, potted. So potus, anything having to do with the state of inebriation. This lent itself to another word. Let's see. The word pint. The word pint. Once upon a time, a pint was only something that was used to drink an inebriate from. It wasn't a particular size. It wasn't a measure yet. That was too uptown. Too uptown. The graduated measures existed, but they were usually local things. There wasn't a unified measurement system across any nation in the world. Until the word pint was changed into something that meant something important. And it was in the 13th century that the Crown of England decided a pint is going to be a pint is going to be a pint. When people order a pint of good English ale, they will always get the same amount. And so the pint as a measurement was born. 20 imperial ounces. Not too much, not too little. This is the beer that Goldilocks picked. All right. So from pint, actually we got other words from potus. We got the word bottle from pot. We got the word pot from pot. We even got the other word pot from pot. Potagium. From the Iberians again. Yay, Iberia! And it was a tonic that was very popular in Rome. So, when the pint was devised, it was wildly popular because it was a standard measurement. Oh, incidentally, another reason the Crown wanted everyone to drink the same amount in their pint was it was easier to calculate taxes as well. Well, you have to pay for those roads somehow, and those wars with those foreign people.
Just like always follow the money?
Always follow the money, exactly. So they thought, well, let's make another measure. And they came up with this. They called it the littler pint. They weren't very creative back then. It was actually called the hay pint. Say it after me, please.
Hay pint.
The hay pint, or half a pint, is 10 imperial ounces. So it is indeed a smaller pint. So, anybody want to venture to guess why they would need a smaller pint?
For children to drink.
Not quite there yet.
For the ladies.
For the ladies, yes, the fairer sex. Because you don't want a woman drinking out of a man's vessel. That's unseemly. We'll feed her as many of those feminine vessels as they wish, but see, it's a matter of keeping status quo and, you know, preserving our status as males. But all women drink out of the same vessels males do now, and quite honestly, it makes more sense. Huzzah to that!
Indeed, huzzah.